And welcome back to episode 62 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm Concession Stand Manager King. He's the head of concessions, ladies and gentlemen.
Fly, Eagles fly. What's up? Cali in the building, Mr. Zach Wilson.
Hey, what's going down, fellas? What's going down?
And ladies. Another one. Oh,
no,
Britt ain't on.
Oh, Britt ain't on? Okay.
Joining us later. She ain't on right now.
Browns fans are a little nervous, so, it's okay.
Listen, they might be. I saw she put up a post. We'll jump it off immediately. I'll wait for her for that. But let's start it out with Lil Homie from the 7-on-7s video.
Lil Homie.
Yeah, the one that Cam Newton got into the argument with, argument with, the one where he told him to get his dad.
It was a disagreement. Yeah, definitely.
You ain't see that? And the Lil Homie told him.
I seen it.
He wasn't.
I'm not even there for that one.
Yeah, this happened like probably 8 months ago.
Cam said, "Where your daddy at?"
Cam was running a 7-on-7, coaching his He was coaching his 7-on-7 team, and one of the little homies from the other team started talking shit to Cam, and Cam wasn't having. He kept saying, "I'm not about to argue with you. You're a child. Like, get your father." So, long story short, at the end of the video, you hear the little dude yelling out to Cam like, "That's why you about to get dropped from the Patriots. That's why you about to lose your job." Or he says,
"Oh wow,
this is like 8 months ago and shit."
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like he might be a fortune teller, because he called it.
Yeah.
He's definitely been released. And what I was going to say, I wasn't about to say nothing bad about Britt by no means. I just saw her on social media. And she put up a post saying that Browns would love to have him as a backup quarterback.
Hell no.
I mean, it goes without saying. You can say what you want about Cam. He makes for a good backup anywhere he goes.
He can go start somewhere right now. He can go start somewhere right now.
You think he can start? Well, yeah, I'm sure there's a couple places he could.
Carolina, back again in Carolina reunion. Miami, if Tua can't, pull through, get it done. Hell, come to Philly. We got Minshew, Flacco, and Hurts. Come on, bro. Come add some spice to the team.
And you're getting him for bottom dollar.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know where he gonna end up at. It's hard to tell. I mean, I would say even Chicago wouldn't be, if they let kick Dalton to the curb, let Justin Fields play, and then keep Cam on the background from Justin Fields because they got a similar style of game.
Exactly. I think I said that in one of an older episode. You know who they say is looking at him now?
Who? I think I might have said something.
Dallas.
You know what?
Dallas is very interested in Cam at the moment, I saw.
Dallas is interested in anybody and everybody. As long as you have a pulse and you have some sort of accolade, that Jerry Jones kills me. He's always going to be the demise of that team. You have Dak Prescott, who I know he had a shoulder strain, but he'll be back. Let's be realistic. He'll be back. He's going to be ready to go week 1. You just paid him big money while he's hurt. Why do you need Cam Newton?
Does it look good, though?
Does his shoulder strain?
No. Does it look good from Jerry Jones' perspective to where you wouldn't need a quarterback? But I think that's smart.
You got to remember, too, Jerry Jones, I don't know, we don't know what Cam Newton's vaccination situation is, but right. Jerry Jones is very adamant about everybody on the Cowboys got to have a vaccination.
Right.
It reminds me a lot of everybody got a nail, too. Like
dictatorship.
And you know what? It's funny you bring that up because there was in the article that they said that could have been another one of the reasons why
he got let go.
Right. He got let go.
Mm-hmm. Because his stance on the vaccination or something that they said like that about that. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
I just said so I didn't think he would end up on the Cowboys because of it. But Bill Belichick. Yeah, I can't figure out the little.
Well, let's be honest, y'all. Talking about Bill Belichick here. if you were willing to ship away Tom Brady when was it Garoppolo that was still there? Remember there was a whole okay, you was willing to get rid of Tom, who's arguably one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT, right? That then Cam Newton should have stepped into his job, bro. I'm sure he did, thinking anyone's fair game. If you're ready to get rid of Tom Brady, you get let go of me in a close second.
But that's different though, right? I feel like that's different because even though Belichick is defensive minded, he's been with Brady for the long haul. So if he can see that there is any sort of decline in your game, that he feels that he can step up to have somebody else, fill those roles, he's going to take that because he feels he's team oriented. He's Popovich-ish.
He is.
So he doesn't believe in one man. He believes in the entire team. So if he sees you declining, and there has been a decline from there's been a decline until they came up with all those rules for him to get back comfortable. He came out hot. He started, I wouldn't say falling, but there was a decline. Then they started coming up with all these different rules for Brady, and now he's back comfortable in the pocket again. So I don't know. I mean, I understand why Bill Belichick would do that. I wouldn't have jumped the gun to ever put it on somebody like Garoppolo. I will say that's crazy. I don't know what he saw in him, but I can definitely understand him trying to get rid of somebody that he thinks may be a bit past his prime.
Well, he'd rather get rid of you early than late. He did that with everybody, especially when it came down to big money. Like, if a player like, I think Stephon Gilmore, he's complaining right now about his contract situation. And Patriots is cheap. They're not going to give nobody no bread like that. And, honestly, I'm really interested in seeing how this season plays out with Mac Jones, because I feel like that whole situation was more like it was like 75% Brady and 25% Belichick, for real.
As far as what? As far as
just the whole longevity of their runs that they had, the run that they had as far as that whole Patriot way.
You're saying the credit.
Yeah, the Patriot way and everything else. Because with them being as cheap as they are, I want to see if he's still going to be able to keep all of that going, because Tom Brady was taking pay cuts to build up other people on the roster, but they do got a rookie quarterback now, so they can spend a little more money than they normally would, which they did. That's why they did what they did during the soon as season started, they dropped all that free agent money because he in the back of his mind he was thinking like, if I get this quarterback, I'm gonna let Cam go, even though he's giving Cam next to nothing for his, for that position. But he like, rookie contract, you can build up your whole team while you got Mac Jones on a cheap deal.
Well, let's be honest. So I seen something, I think it was First Take or ESPN, some article or something where they said, I guess Bill Belichick and Nick Saban are very, very good friends, right? So clearly there's a referral. Hey, draft my guy. If he falls, talking about the Patriots, draft my guy, Mac Jones, which they did. So I think it was a buddy thing. I think that Belichick all along knew that this is who I want to go with. When do I do it? I think Cam didn't have it. I think the moment they drafted Mac Jones, I feel like Cam didn't have a shot.
Well, I just like they was. See, here's my thing. It
was never a good fit to me.
For Cam, right.
I agree.
Now here's my thing. I did say that it does make sense. He may be able to make it work because Cam's not a down the field shooter. And Belichick likes those little quick passes. So I did feel like they could have made it work. And he didn't do bad in the first half. But what I was going to say is the verses that so-called happened last year. If Belichick succeeds, then we know that it was Belichick. And if Brady succeeds, we know it was Brady. It's okay to have that, definitely. I definitely see, a reason to monitor careers after the separation, but you can't put last year's season up against Brady, right? Because that was Brady's first time in his career ever having weapons on the wide receiver end.
That'll be scary this year.
Well, listen, this is my thing. Belichick has always been known to make something out of nothing.
He has.
Now, with that quarterback, Cam Newton, I don't know if it fits so much as a Mac or a Brady. Now that he does have Mac, if Mac does have an exceptional year, then I think it's time to readdress is it 75% Brady, 25% Belichick? Because we really don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and the quarterback got to fit the system usually, not the other way around.
No, when I say that too, I mean like just creating the culture as well, because Brady was an extension of him to a certain degree. You see Brady brought that culture down there to Tampa Bay, got them dudes on a different level now. He brought that winning culture. That's him. Like Tampa Bay, they had everybody on that team was already there, set aside Antonio Brown and Gronk. You know what I'm saying? That's the same damn near roster. Like, you know what I'm saying? And all he did was like, yo, man, let me get a couple of my mans down here. Boom, and we lit.
But where you think he got that culture from? He ain't get it from Michigan.
I think it was. I think it was like it's both of them.
Throw shots.
I believe it was both of them.
I'm just being honest. We know factually it didn't come from Ann Arbor.
Hold on, time out. But because who was his coach? I'm not even being funny. I'm just like genuinely asking who was Tom Brady's coach during that time at Michigan? Because it probably did start back then.
I don't know.
Let me see.
Yeah,
I probably do know, and I struck the name from mind. I just don't know.
I would have to look that one up. I would definitely have to look that up. No, I mean, I believe that. I'm not saying like Tom Brady is all of the reason, but I believe he's a lot more of the reason than 50-50, because, Belichick can draw up certain plays. I would say, as far as like them years where the defense was carrying stuff over, that's definitely Belichick. But the offensively, man, Tom Brady was playing with next to nothing, man. Like that. Why do you think they looked so bad once he left? Because he was playing with nothing. That's why he like, yo, I'm out of here, man. Y'all tripping. Like, yo, I'm taking pay cuts.
See, that's the thing.
To keep.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What you?
No.
No, I just feel like that's the thing, though. The only comparison we have is Cam Newton, and what I said is he didn't have a bad season until he caught COVID. Everybody was thinking it may be able to work, and then he caught COVID, and that shit derailed everything.
No, what I'm saying is, no, Cam Newton's not to blame for how the season went. Well, people now that Cam is there, people really are highlighting like, yo, he had nobody to play with. Like, that's why Brady left, because the roster was trash.
Right.
Hell, Cam Newton couldn't do but so much with that roster himself. The only way that he was going to be able to do that is because he had that running element. So he could create a lot of stuff by running. And that's what he was doing. He was using his legs a lot because there was nobody to throw to.
And they just
tight ends was trash. He didn't have no separation for no receivers. You got a couple of gadget backs coming out of James White and all of them. Man, that roster was trash.
And Sony Michel just left. They just traded him.
They traded him to the Rams. Yeah. And I think a lot. Not to cut you off, Malcolm. I think a lot of people. I don't do fantasy football. I want to get into it, but I think Sony Michel is going to be a sleeper this year, man. Cats need to put him on a fantasy team.
Facts. He's nice. I agree, Cat. He's nice.
In LA? Yeah, because they got who nice. Now? They got Goff?
No, they got Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford. I always get them confused.
Yeah, Goff is in Detroit now.
Every time I mix the two trades up. But, yeah, either way, Stafford, I mean, you're going to have to use him. You're going to have to use your run game to get any sort of legitimate passing yards out of Stafford.
Nah, I mean, Stafford been carrying the Lions his whole career. He only had, this dude been in like 11 years and had 8 100-yard rushing games from a running back in 11 years.
Is that right?
Years. Yes, actual fact. 8 100-yard rushing games in 11 years, or however long he's been in Detroit. He only had 8 times in 8 games where a running back ran for more than 100 yards.
No, I just don't have faith in him, and that may be because of seeing him in Detroit.
I think that he's gonna be in consideration for MVP this year.
Cliff, Matt Stafford did his thing. Now he did have Calvin Johnson for a while, of
course, Megatron,
yeah. I'm not even thinking about those days. I'm thinking about after that.
But Matt Stafford, Cliff, you didn't hear about him because Detroit sucks, obviously, and you didn't see a lot of their game. They weren't on
right. And the ones I did see, I just wasn't impressed.
Right. Wasn't somebody watching them on Thanksgiving, man.
I was not impressed.
Everybody waiting for the other game to come on.
You right.
You right. Yeah, y'all right. But Matt Stafford, him personally, fuck the team. But him personally, oh yeah, he can ball. Like Callie said, Matt Stafford can ball.
Oh yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna see in LA.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have like a real breakout season, man. He's due for it. I think it's not even that he's gonna have a breakout season. I think he's gonna be very similar to what he already is, but it's just gonna be a lot more spotlight on it now.
And think about how many coaches Matt Stafford went through in Detroit. A gang of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was like 2 years or so when it was who was the one coach, man? He was a little
black dude.
No, not Caldwell. That was the dude before
Matt
Caldwell.
Patricia? Not Matt Patricia.
No, not Matt Patricia. It was dark-haired white dude, man. He's the one that got upset when they was running the score up on them before. He got upset.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I just can't think of his name.
I'm gonna look at
that. Man. He had them playing good at one point. I think that was the 1 year that they went to the playoffs.
I can see his face. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. He was the coach, man. He was pissed when I think it was the Patriots that ran up the score on them, or somebody ran up the score on them a while back. I think that was one of them years when the Patriots was like, I think that was that year that the Patriots was just wilding on everybody when they had Randy Moss and all that.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sold yet.
And to answer your question, Clifford, when Tom Brady, I looked it up, was at Michigan, his coach was the great infamous Lloyd Carr, which makes sense on why he got early coaching before Bill Belichick. So
that nigga didn't get early coaching shit because he wasn't shit before Bill Belichick. That nigga wasn't shit in college.
I mean, he wasn't who he is today.
He wasn't shit in college.
Hold on, he was beating Drew Brees at Purdue. We talked about that last.
Purdue, nigga, that's not just because the colors are the same doesn't mean it's the Saints.
Yeah, that's
a great point.
I would say, Tom Brady. He was a system guy at first, and he evolved from that. I just think that everybody associates him and Bill Belichick so much. Now that he went to another team and did his thing, now everybody I even like him now. I hate Tom Brady. I'm a Jets man. I can't stand.
Oh yeah.
I ain't even gonna say Tom Brady, but I didn't like him on the Patriots. Now that he's over there, he's like a different person.
I do like him more on Tampa.
I hate
He's a whole different dude now, man. He be speaking his mind. He be talking shit. I'm like, this guy, I ain't never seen this Tom before. Like before, he was like a robot vampire, just getting the press conference. Yeah, so you know about next week. Now he get out there and he really talking. He really being himself. You could tell, like, if he would have been on a different team, this would have been him the whole time. Right. He would have had a lot more character to him.
Yeah, I would have liked him more too.
Me too.
Callie, you talking about Jim Swartz or is it maybe Rod Marinelli?
Yeah, yep, that's it. Jim Swartz. It was Jim Swartz. That's it. Yep, Jim Swartz. I
can't stand him, Callie. He came after that to the Eagles and was our defensive coordinator. Bro, we was getting lit up on the field.
Nigga, it's not his fault.
What you mean? He's defensive coordinator.
It's not his fault.
Bro, hold on. Cal, you probably remember this. There was 1 year my Eagles were called the Dream Team. We literally had some
when they got got that cornerback.
Awesome Wall and Rogers Cromartie.
Got him from the Raiders.
Right. And guess who was the coordinator, Cliff? Jim Swartz. Guess who was trash on defense, Cliff? The Eagles and Jim Swartz.
The dude from the Raiders was the only person making noise.
No, he wasn't.
He didn't.
No, he was trash.
He had an interception.
He was not good.
He had a couple interceptions.
Tell him, Callie.
He wasn't good that year.
No,
he wasn't good. You know what happened?
What happened was
he only was used to playing one side of the field, and they tried to make him a shutdown corner. He's not a Darrell Revis type dude. You can't just say, all right, here's Calvin Johnson, follow him the whole game. Like, no, he only played a certain part of his own defense.
Yeah.
That made him look a lot better than he really was.
That's true.
I know he had at least one pick out of that season though, because I was watching him.
Fuck one pick. You supposed to have more than one pick.
He was supposed to be like the biggest free agent.
Season. He came in the middle, didn't he?
No, he came at the beginning.
He was a big free agent signing.
Yeah.
Was it a free agent signing?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a big deal. That was like everybody was trying to get him.
Right. We were supposed to be the dream team, bro. We had like the worst record ever,
was
bro.
That a free agent signing?
It was one of those big. It was a big free agent signing.
We signed him and Rogers Cromartie.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's when y'all had like that's when y'all tried to do the popcorn team. You know, just try to put a bunch of good free agents together. And every team that does that, it never works. It never works, man.
It don't. Chemistry.
That's why some of the most stable organizations, man, they just draft well. And like you think of the Steelers. Like, I mean, every time these dudes draft a wide receiver, you never even heard of these dudes in college. Next thing you know, they're just nice. I mean, like, and it's the culture, man. They draft well. They raise them through. And now you can see that even with Cleveland, they starting to do that now. They get into like that process where they draft them better and developing their players, and then you get some other little pieces. But when you just throw a bunch of free agents in there, man, it's never a good look. Unless you're playing basketball, of course. If basketball, that's different. Yeah. You can't do it with football, though.
Yeah, it's easier to catch a rhythm with 5 players as opposed to 11. But
because the impact players hold a lot more weight. Like, you know what I'm saying? You throw LeBron on the Sacramento Kings right now, and they're going to be in the playoffs.
He can do it all himself if he really wanted to. Well, damn near all of it himself if he wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
In football.
Football, it's just you got to rely too much on other people.
I think that you giving too much credit to Pittsburgh and Cleveland with their drafts. Now, Pittsburgh maybe historically, recently, I think it's more so luck than actual I'm focused on that person. Because let's be honest, Schuster went in the last round.
Who?
Juju Smith-Schuster?
Oh, yeah.
He went in the last round. And that's your standout receiver, right? So if you were really pegging, like really going for the best picks, I would imagine you would have had your eye on Schuster before the 6th.
See, that's what I mean by them, like, knowing. You got to think they got to have a pretty good scout team because they're a cheap organization as well. They don't like to pay players. So they're going to, like, their scout team, they probably pay their scout team a pretty good penny because they tend to find those players that you can find in the 5th round, and then they end up being whatever they end up being. Or maybe they just got good position coaches. There's something within that organization that's making it keep on going. Like, because the worst record they've had is, 8-8? And that was with Duck Hodges.
You may be right, because they picked that running back up, Connors in the last round, too, and he didn't end up being too bad either. He's playing
he was very comfortable to losing Bell when we signed Bell.
Arizona.
Is it? Yeah, it is Arizona.
Yeah, he left to go get the money because they didn't want to pay him.
Right. Yeah, no.
Now, but they got Najee Harris now. It's like the gift that keeps giving for them. For some reason, they, like you said, it could be a lot of luck. Like now they get Najee Harris.
Nah, but I think that to your point, I think they just know how to play their hand. Like they know what books is still gonna be left at the end of the spades hand type shit.
That's probably the most loyal franchise in all of NFL. Like they've only had I think a handful of coaches.
Like 3 coaches in the last 60 years.
Yeah, like they are loyal. Maybe to a fault sometimes, but they are loyal.
But they'll ride out some 8-8 seasons, some 9-7 seasons. They'll ride it out. That's what I mean about the stability of the organization, because they'll ride it out as long as it's all right, you got a game plan. We ain't looking just straight trash.
They always right on the edge of the playoffs, or
always right there.
Yeah,
but I think a lot of that's going to change.
Pittsburgh is a very blue collar area. Pittsburgh is a home of the factories. That's factory work.
That's why it's called the Steelers.
You want to go there with me this weekend and see how blue collar it is?
That don't matter where you at. I know your light skinned ass is probably driving through the city past all the abandoned factories.
Right, you're right.
The brick roads and stuff. Come on, G. I know what Pittsburgh's about. I know what goes on in this tri-state area.
I want to test your knowledge.
Yeah, I know, motherfucker. You ain't gonna bend me backwards. I know what goes on. But
that's is that in the Nasib quote?
But you better watch Nasib quotes with that bedazzled Eagles hat on.
Hey, we coming for
Look at that bedazzled.
I'm concerned about the Eagles this year, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know about y'all coach, bro. That coach don't.
But
I just don't dig it.
Saying that. I've been saying that, but I agree, bro. That coach is he's a weirdo to me.
I thought when y'all y'all was making the decision between either Carson Wentz or Doug Peterson, and y'all just both. I'm like, what the hell? I wasn't expecting that. And y'all gonna, I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all probably gonna be last in the NFC East this year, man.
Probably. I don't doubt. Now, the one thing that pissed me off is that black coach, I believe it's for the Chiefs. Everyone
Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, the offensive coordinator.
Why didn't nobody
didn't even interview him, man? I don't know what it is, man. What's going on with that? But nobody even want to give him an interview. That's crazy.
But look, Callie and Cliff, y'all gave what's his name for the Texans' new head coach. Y'all gave that coaching job, the black coach now for the Texans.
And that's only because they was trying to
my fucking tongue.
They was only trying to, you know what I'm saying, give a comfort blanket to Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Yeah. But Deshaun Watson, he was upset about the Eric Bieniemy situation. And that's when they decided to bring a black coach in, like, oh, let's try to console Deshaun Watson so he don't be, spazzing out about all of the, the owner of the team, man, don't let the inmates run the asylum. Right, like, that says it all about their organization.
David Culley.
Yeah, this dude like 85 years old getting his first head coaching gig, man.
You know what?
He's 60. Actually, he'll be 66 September 17th.
Speaking of Deshaun, the Texans chose. I want to get y'all's opinion on this. Texans chose to keep Deshaun Watson for the year. Of course, he's riding the bench. He said he's not going to play. That means that they do have to pay him 10.54, I believe, mil for the season. And they keep saying the reasoning behind this is because they say no one will trade for him. And I want to know how true y'all think that is. Because I don't think it's true at all. Allegations are not. People will trade for him. I don't ever remember the Texans offering him up to be traded.
Yeah, no, I think that at this point they're just not going to get the trade value that they feel like they should get for him because it's just too risky. And that's what it really boils down to. They want a boatload for him, and everybody knows, like, you don't got no leverage in this situation now. Like, this dude got hella court stuff going on. Nobody's about to just give up the boatload right now, and they don't even know if they're going to get him. So the Texans is feeling like, man, we might as well just sit on this situation until we get some type of resolution from this court thing. And that's where the problem lies, because now they got to pay him with the hopes of him giving them some type of payoff in the long run as far as trade value. But they got to sit on it now. They don't got no choice. They should have got rid of him initially when he first said he wanted to go before all of the allegations popped up. And I still think that the Houston Texans got something to do with the allegations. I do too. I feel like that owner set him up.
I've been saying that, and I'm going to say this. I thought the Texans were the originators of poker.
Right.
I thought, didn't they originate poker, right? Like, don't you know when to hold 'em, when to fold 'em, all that jazz? Isn't that what you're supposed to know? Right, you're supposed to know that, right? So my whole thing is, even with Deshaun Watson, you can highball these teams. I guarantee you right now, if you put Deshaun Watson's name on that trading block, you're going to get at least 7 picks or 7 teams that come back interested. Now,
but they're going to lowball them now.
Right, but the first team that lowballs you, you're done. Out. Not dealing with you anymore. That lets the other 6 know they're not willing to give him up for nothing, so you are going to have to pay for him. We all expected to have to pay for him, even with the allegations, right? We all expected that. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Everybody's talking about these allegations of 22 cases and why hasn't the NFL punished this man yet? Well, why don't you think the NFL punished this man yet?
That's a good point.
Why don't you think they punished him yet? Because they know the shit's not going to stick.
Right.
Which, once again, leads me to believe that you were behind this in the first place. Because none of this shit came out until he said he didn't want nothing to do with Texas.
Right.
And then all the allegations come out, right? And then they start calling people to court and half the females don't show. Then the females that do show don't want to explain what happened. Well, what's going on here, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of inconsistencies in it, but yeah, I believe.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut
you coincidence.
Off, but I'm not trying to belittle anybody that's gone through anything like that.
No, yeah, definitely not. No. If that anybody that's a victim of sexual assault or anything like that, no,
do not want to belittle.
That's definitely
like
not
that.
what we saying. Right, that's not what we saying.
But we know that as long as there has been sexual assault, there has been weaponized allegations as well.
Oh yeah.
Emmett Till was one of them.
I just feel like, he even, I feel like, man, he was set up. Flat out. I feel like he was set up. Now, if the case come out to be that's something different, and then that's a whole different ball game. But at this point, with the information that we have at hand, and no concrete, real messages, nothing coming out there, because this is the world of text messages, Instagram, DMs. Something at this point would have bubbled up. I feel like at least something would have came up where it's like, all right, well, we got him sending a message about this or that, and it's like, come on, I just don't believe it.
My whole thing is, even if the worst case scenario is true, what's criminal about asking?
Right.
What's criminal about asking? How many massages have you had with clothes on? Well, I've always said the only massages I've ever had either came after a car accident or before sex. So, the insurance makes you go to the chiropractor. You got to get rubbed on. So, those, of course, I've had clothes on, or at least boxers on. But I'm not paying. But I'm just saying, most of the time, you put a towel over you.
Right. Yeah, you do. Facts. Yeah.
So my whole thing is, if he asks you to do more, apologies for going too far. I apologize. Didn't know. Thought it was that kind of party. I see it's not. I'm sorry. Then what? Right? Then what? Then what? You sue for what?
You notice there's no actual criminal cases. It's all civil.
Because that's what I'm saying. It's
all about money.
There's nothing criminal about this. There's absolutely nothing criminal about this. Now, it may be deviant or whatever you want to call it. Like, touch my dick. Like, can you please touch my dick? I'm Deshaun Watson. I need a massage. Touch my dick. Yeah, maybe deviant. Nothing criminal about it, though. So I'm having a hard time understanding, like, what exactly is the issue as to why you feel like no one would trade for him. I feel like that's another Texas cap. You're capping. I
just think it's one of those things where, they don't know. It's like, it's like throwing paint at the motherfucking wall, just figuring out what's going to stick and what's not. So, any other outside, but the owners, they collude, man. Like, why you think Colin Kaepernick got all that money? Because they collude. They all speak to each other. They all do they pass on certain things. Like, them dudes is probably the dude from Texas, probably like, listen, man, like, until I'm done with him, y'all can't have him yet, kind of situation. And I feel like that's what he did. Ever since that whole, the whole kneeling and the national anthem, and he said the inmates can't run the asylum. And then, Deshaun Watson just kind of hinting at a lot of racist stuff going on within the organization. I feel like Texas, they definitely.
It's Texas. Yeah, I mean, come on. Of all places, Texas. Oh, I guarantee he deals with racism on a daily, but it's just too nonchalant for me to give a fuck about it. Like, that's just them doing their thing. I ignore that. But this, I cannot ignore.
Yeah.
And then now I'm a fucking sexual offender because I asked for somebody to tug my dick. How many people, NFL owners, have asked for dick tugs caught? Jerry Jones is one of them motherfuckers.
Robert Kraft too. Yeah,
right, all of them. So what he's saying is, I can play for y'all, but I can't play with y'all. Okay, I don't want to play. That's exactly what this is right now. That's exactly what this is. And I'm not saying that it all stemmed from the fact that he couldn't get his dick tugged and they did. But that's exactly what's going on. Like, I can play for y'all, but I can't do what y'all do and be left alone. Okay, I don't want
if
to.
That is what happened, or he just wasn't going to the right place, man. Obviously,
right. Well, neither was Robert Kraft, apparently, or Jerry.
They know the exclusive places. You know what I'm saying? Possibly you just go get the happy
Jerry
ending
had him on
the
yacht.
low.
Jerry had him on a yacht and still got caught. What the fuck? You hear what I'm saying? So shit, what is Deshaun doing right at this point? Right?
Something. I just, man, it's hard to believe that somebody that was held in such high regard as far as his character and everything else, all of that just comes to a screeching halt as soon as he says, oh, I don't want to play for this team anymore. Now all of a sudden, all of it's just the timing of it is just too fishy for me, man. It's too fishy.
I agree. I definitely agree. But yeah, and I just feel like saying something like that in the article that they can't get a trade for him just furthermore explains to me that your nose is growing, Pinocchio.
Yeah, they didn't want to get a trade for him.
What are you talking about? Like, we're here. We see this. We see that you never offered him up for a trade. And now you're saying nobody a trade for him. It just makes me feel like you're just lying. Like, just a whole bunch of lies.
They wanted him to sit down. They wanted him to, they want to play chicken with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, man, we both going to drive to the cliff. Let's see who's going to hit the brakes first. And they both just drove off the motherfucker. Like, fuck it. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean that situation, like I said, man, even with the NFL, man, I love the NFL, man. I breathe the NFL, but it has so much racial undertone to it. It's crazy. Well, just the whole aspect of it. Any sport.
Anything involved, not even sports, anything involved with ownership, business, sport, it doesn't matter. And anything that involves ownership has that to do. You know what I mean? It's just when you're a professional athlete that you're expected. That's expected. You know what I mean? You're taught that. You're taught that this comes along with that. Britt in the building.
Hey, Britt.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, we were just talking about how the Browns is about to go 4-13.
Didn't nobody say that. That would have to be Back to the Future talk. In the past. That's in the past.
What's going on with that Yankees jersey, though? You got the wrong one on. You need a Mets one now.
Listen, I'm not even going to...
I know. Yeah, the Mets and the Jets,
I don't know nothing about baseball. I just got it on.
Whose name's on the back?
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody.
That's what I'm about to say.
Yeah, I can tell from the jersey. That's just, you know what I'm saying? That's the little
yeah,
one,
it's
two,
just
one,
little,
two.
I'm about to say, who's the only one you could put on the back of there, right? Not even Aaron Judge. Judge ain't been doing that.
You gotta go back to Jeter or somebody.
Yeah, I would do Jeter, so it's timeless. I can wear it,
you can't do nobody recent.
Wear it for sure.
But where were we at? Oh, we was talking about that whole the whole Texas situation.
Yeah, with Deshaun Watson and just the timing of the sexual assault allegations and everything.
I call Cap.
Is there ever a good time for sexual assault allegations?
No, that's never. No, it's never.
No. We're not saying. We already crossed that bridge, saying like, listen. If someone actually did get sexually assaulted, that's nothing to, downplay or anything like that. But I just feel like, man, like I was telling them, with the owner saying, hey, the inmates can't run the asylum, and then nothing comes out until he decides that he don't want to play for the team anymore. Then all of a sudden, boom, the whole...
It ain't nothing new. I mean, we are
saying, and then this is what brought it up, Britt, is the fact that Texas is now saying they'll keep him and pay him the $10.5 million for him to sit on the bench because no one will trade for him. What?
Right.
What? When did you ever put him
they kept saying the whole
on the
time
trading block?
Trade.
Right. Y'all said y'all wasn't going to let him go. So how is it that no one will trade for him if you have been actively saying we're not letting him go? So I feel like it's a whole bunch of cap coming out of Texas at the moment. And I don't know what to believe anymore.
It's the owners. They talk behind closed doors. So, everything that we get, the information that we get, that's what they want to let out. But, right. The owners, man, that's I keep going back to the Colin Kaepernick situation. no owner didn't say, "Oh, I'm not gonna put him on my team because he's doing this." No, they just didn't say
they
nothing.
Just didn't do it.
Everybody know was really good. Like them dudes, they talk, man. You got 32 billionaires,
right?
Old white men billionaires outside of like one other dude that's not. But please, they got their own little golf clubs or wherever they go to, and they discuss
and shit.
Yeah,
but being realistic though,
stuff off the books.
Who would take him in the midst of that? Like, no team wants to take that on.
Not in the midst of it, but I know that for a fact that there were teams that were salivating.
They saying the Dolphins still want to get him right now.
I could use Colin Kaepernick right now.
The Dolphins still want to get him.
No, I'm not even talking about Colin Kaepernick. I'm talking about Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Saying like
anybody.
The Dolphins still want to trade for him right now.
The Raiders would have took him. I think anybody. It's a lot of teams that would have said we'll take him.
We wanted him too. The Jets was like, we was about to give up that Zach Wilson pick and all that. Like, if before all of that happened, like when Deshaun Watson first initially said, like, "Yo, I want to be out," everybody was like, they was ready to put all types of trade packages up to get him.
The Philly was one.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Philly, Miami, Jets. It was like, who else was? I think the 49ers was like they was in the runs for it too. I remember the Browns was even like talking about y'all was ready to kick Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, right.
ASAP.
Yeah, right.
Y'all to pack
you must not know how the Browns operate.
I don't think the Browns know how the Browns operate.
Exactly.
They don't make moves like that. They don't make moves like that. So you telling me
if y'all could have got Deshaun Watson, y'all gonna say, "Nah, we gonna ride out with Baker"?
The Browns, the Browns they would. The GMs for the Browns for sure.
I believe.
Yeah, they would.
I believe they said we're good with what we got.
Because to Calvin's point, y'all can't even keep the head coach. Y'all change head coaches like y'all change underwear. Y'all didn't change head coaches every year, every other year.
But think about this,
man. Listen, they'll change a head coach, but when it comes to they star QB or who they drafted,
I was just about to say, how many mistakes had they made before that they finally got it right with Baker, and they like, why would we trade away our right for Deshaun?
The only teams that wasn't going to trade for Deshaun Watson was the Chiefs, probably the Chargers, the Ravens, Green Bay, like those. Like, unless you one of them teams that got like,
I think Green Bay might have even made a move, to be honest.
Yeah, to get something younger.
Because Aaron, but they already got controversy with him. We only got him for another year. Let's get him out of there and get him. He'd be more.
Yeah, but the Browns y'all was on ESPN and everything with y'all was ready. Y'all was ready to go. I remember Baker Mayfield. He actually made a tweet about it. Like,
Britt said she want Cam, so why can't we have Deshaun in
I would love Cam, but I want Cam as a backup though.
Is that Cincy or Cleveland? 213. I think that's, or is it 513?
513 is Cincinnati.
So it's 213.
216.
216 is Cleveland. Yeah, 216. Yeah.
I knew something like that.
But no, I would love to have Cam as a back. Who wouldn't want Cam Newton as a backup quarterback?
He could be a starter. Listen,
Cam Newton wouldn't want Cam Newton as a backup quarterback. That's the problem.
Yeah, but listen, he gonna have to take what he can get. You know what I'm saying? Like, if those offers don't come through, he gonna have to take what he can get, which would be a backup spot. Like,
it's only gonna
same thing with Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston is a starting quarterback, but
I think so
he had to take a backup spot. And now
he's that Drew Brees was like on his last leg, so that made sense.
I would put more behind Jameis
than
I
would
Cam
Newton go behind Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield is younger than him? Like that don't make sense.
I understand, but before he took that spot with Drew Brees, he was open. He wanted to play that year. He wanted to play last year. He wanted a starting spot. It just wasn't available. So my thing is, what I'm basically saying is Cam Newton's going to have to take what's available to him.
But I think the market for as crazy as it sounds, the market for Jameis Winston was still a little better than what it is for Cam Newton, because Jameis Winston is actually, he can throw an accurate pass. It's just he throws a lot of.
That's my point. You're playing right into what I'm saying. Cam Newton is probably going to have to take a backup spot. Right. That's what I'm saying.
He's not known for throwing an accurate pass, but I'm saying
he's older.
And your
Jameis Winston knew in his mind, like, I I feel like that situation in New Orleans was a little bit different because it's like, you going behind Drew Brees. Drew Brees is like, on his way out. You looking at the other dude, Taysom Hill. You like, man, I'm better than this dude. So I can sit here, chill for a second, and I'll be right back out in the mix. But
no,
I'm trying to figure out what
scenario
what team do you see has a scenario for Cam Newton like that?
I don't see a team. I don't see a team.
Malk said Miami.
I said the Steelers.
The Colts could too. The Colts.
Oh yeah, the Steelers would be good.
I feel like would be ideal.
Anybody. I feel like if you're looking at it like, I don't think that people are going to.
Big Ben is on his way out.
Yeah, he's on his way out.
But they got the.
But I don't think people are going to look at it.
Are we talking about Cam or are we talking about Deshaun?
No, Cam.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't agree. In Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Listen, anybody can take Cam Newton. I think a lot of teams will take Cam Newton, but I don't think any teams are going to take him with the intention of him being their number one QB. So with that being said, Cam Newton is a great fit anywhere as a QB too.
I don't think he's a great fit anywhere as a QB too.
Or he's going to be a great fit at most places as a QB too.
I agree. I said that at the beginning of the podcast. I think that Cam is the number one second string a lot of places.
I just don't feel like he feels like he's that at this point. So
right.
But Carmelo Anthony, take your role or sit the bench.
Which is fine, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that he feels that way. I think he still has something in the tank. I think he thinks he still has something in the tank, and I think he does too. But you got to prove it at this point. And I feel like in order for him to prove it, he's going to have to take that QB2 role.
Right.
Now, with that being said, his best bet is to pull a Jameis Winston and see, okay, who's likely to get injured if I come in as a QB2? Who's likely to just retire next year? Like, where can I, build a future, basically? So, I mean, I feel like this kind of like he's open. As long as he comes into it.
It's slim pickings, though. Almost every team got a young quarterback now.
I think Miami would be the best.
I would say young quarterback,
right? Your young quarterback.
What about Washington? What about Washington?
Washington. Ron Rivera don't want nothing to do with him, I don't think.
Oh.
You got to think Washington got the same coach that Carolina had when he was there.
Yeah, but I don't know that he had.
Yeah, but Cam.
That's somebody he can beat.
Right, Cam better.
Yeah, but I don't
know.
think
I'm taking Tyrod over Cam.
At least what they were saying, in other news aspects, they said that Ron Rivera doesn't want Cam Newton. Pretty much, he cool on that. I don't know, for whatever reason, he cool on that because he already had the opportunity to sign him last year if he wanted to.
That's true.
Before he signed with the Patriots, what I'm saying, he could have went to Washington then.
I'm just saying, if he comes in as a QB2, a lot of teams will want him.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, if he willing to, humble himself and come in as a QB2, but what I'm saying.
That's the difference between football and NBA is you have no fucking choice. There's no room for you to play off position. You know what I mean? In the NBA, you can come in and be like, I'll play the 4 and let so-and-so play my spot.
Or play off the ball. You don't gotta bring the rock up the court.
If you're not the best, you can't play the 1.
What you saying? You want him to switch to a wide receiver already?
I'm saying the only way he gonna get PT is if he switched to a wide receiver. Otherwise, he's QB2, like you said.
I'm trying to think so I'm gonna have to come up with a list of the 32 teams in the league and see like where does he fit as far as like rankings with the 32 teams in the league. But it's also a situational thing too, because it's like there's certain places that's just not a good situation for him. And I think that plays more of a part than his actual skill set. Because like where the type of play he is, like depending on where he goes, it's just not a good situation for that. Because I'm thinking like all of the divisions right now.
I think Jerry Jones is smart for looking at him.
Jerry Jones, looking at him as a QB2 though.
Right, but I mean, it could be a
I
very
think if
quick
he wasn't there, he'll
QB1.
hit the field this year.
Yeah,
He's gonna play.
Dak.
I don't see Dak making it through the whole
injury
season.
prone, but recently coming out of this recent injury, we gave you the contract assuming you were good from the ankle. You came back and overworked your shoulder. Now I'm looking at you like, God damn, nigga, what's next? Maybe we do need another quarterback there in case something goes down.
Shit. They should all be thinking like that.
But a lot of places got good QBs and QB2s.
Most places should be thinking like that.
Most places don't have good QB2s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should all be thinking in the sense of a QB2. That's why I was like, if he wants to come in as a QB2, the Browns want you.
If you think QB2 right now, I guarantee you most people cannot name 11 backups right now. Or 11 different teams, the backup.
I couldn't name 11.
The backup. That's how you know it ain't that many. It's not that many good QB2s.
Yeah, I guess that's somewhat correct. I think the only reason that makes that somewhat correct is that this year is the year that a lot of young bucks have come out, and a lot of young bucks have been drafted before, like a year or two before, that are waiting for their shot. That you wouldn't give Cam the QB1 over them. It just wouldn't make sense. There's a lot of teams that get eliminated from that list just because you have talent. Like you said, Chicago's one of them. I'm not starting Cam over Justin Fields. I don't care if Justin Fields hasn't had any NFL experience. I'm not starting Cam over Justin Fields. It's not happening.
That wouldn't. That's a rare case. That wouldn't be a good fit.
Think about Trey Lance. Think about Trevor Lawrence. Think about Zach Wilson. These are all players that just came out this year. Hell, let alone the QBs that came out last year that ain't got their shot yet.
80% of the AFC is all young quarterbacks. I mean, from Baker Mayfield, you got to think Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen,
Mike Brown
Zach
in the
Wilson,
building.
You guys,
Josh Gilbert. What's the dude named Gilbert?
You talking about Herbert?
Justin
Herbert.
Justin Herbert. I mean, hold on. Who else? Patrick Mahomes. He's young. Like these dudes. Mostly, damn near the whole AFC is young quarterbacks. So you already got marked out the AFC. Like that's a wrap for that. And then
he can't be thinking about longevity. In my opinion, he's too old to be thinking longevity. He should be thinking, where can I play?
He's not good enough to.
Man, that's
2
old.
years
in NFL years.
Tom Brady changed the script. That Aaron Rodgers is like 37.
Different game, because you got to understand that they never dropped the ball on their playing skills. Their playing skills never dropped. Now their personnel changed, but as far as like their abilities, that never changed. Cam's abilities have clearly changed.
That's because he never became a precision passer. Outside of that 1 year before he injured his shoulder when he was playing with Schottenheimer. No, Turner. Which one called that one offensive coordinator that had him at like 70% on his completion percentage, but that was like the same year he injured his shoulder. But he never was known for, throwing an accurate ball. He just was like a move maker. He could just make things happen. And that doesn't translate well to age.
Right.
So, yeah, like you said, a majority of it is going to come down to him humbling himself and saying, you know what?
A dual threat and you lose one of those threats, you are no longer a threat.
That would be very similar to Lamar Jackson losing his running ability.
Right.
Like his stock would plummet. Like it would plummet.
Yeah, I mean that's part of his game. We had that conversation before, though. That was part of Cam's game, and they changed his game and tried to make him into somebody that he wasn't. But I also think
North Turner really had him playing from the pocket, though. He was nice at that. He was like 70% completion ratage, but he got injured. That was the year he injured his shoulder. And I think it just kind of been downfall. I really think this downfall was when he never dived in. When he didn't dive in for that fumble in that Super Bowl, that was like the beginning of the end.
You took the words.
Not connector.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say Cam Newton has not been the same since that Super Bowl play.
He should have dove in, man. Like, how do you not? Like, you like 6'7", dude. Like, what are you scared to dive in on? Like, this ain't like a preseason game. This is the Super Bowl. You dive in there and get that ball.
Little homie was Miss Cleo's grandson. Miss Cleo got a little nigga in the 7-on-7 tournament that knows the future. I'm telling you. Because he said it. He said you gonna get cut. He said you ain't gonna be making that money. And he was absolutely correct.
God, you talking about the kid when he got into it with the kid
and he
earlier
said,
this year?
You gonna get cut
so
from
that
the
was
Patriots.
a legit little kid that said that to him.
He said you ain't gonna make it out of there. Yeah, he wasn't no older than 13, 14 years old.
Oh wow.
He said, you about to get cut. You ain't gonna make it out. You ain't no good court. He was going in on them. And he told the truth. He was telling the truth.
That wasn't the truth at the time, though.
Mm-hmm. COVID ain't enough. COVID ain't enough.
I just think though, I think it was really in his situation. It was a lot of bad times too. Because you got to think he got with a team that has one of the most complex offensive systems. It was a bad situation. With no time to really be able to gel with his teammates. It was a lot of stuff, and it's all about the timing, man. Like that, the way the timing fell when he got injured. COVID happened. Nobody could really give him a workout, check him out, and see what was going on. So most teams didn't want to rock with him. Patriots took a chance because they like, yo, we just gonna give you dirt cheap money doing the Patriot way.
Maybe
he said, you know what? I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. Yeah. He said, I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. He got out there, he looked good initially, got COVID, and then that playbook and the way they game plan differently for every. It's like you learning a new playbook almost every week. Messing with the Patriots. So you miss some weeks and then you come back and you just never really catch up with the formula. And I think he was just, that's what happened with him, man. Like,
that's what he said happened. He just never really caught up to what they had going on.
And it's sad because like this dude was an MVP in the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? At one point, man, like. Everybody was rooting for at this time when the Panthers played the Broncos. You remember it was the Black Panther versus the White Knight kind of thing. Everybody was making it out to be and shit.
No, I don't remember that.
You remember that? The Black Panther versus the White Knight? Yeah, Peyton Manning versus Cam Newton at the time. Yeah, that was like a thing. That was a thing. But for him to go from being that promising in his career to this is crazy, and I just think it's a lot of it is just timing and circumstances. I don't think it has a lot to do with his skill because he hasn't really had an opportunity to show his skill anymore.
I disagree.
I do too.
I disagree.
Well, you talking about the preseason? He should have just blew him out the water in the preseason. That's on him on that one. That's
right. Right. That was your last shot.
But I think that where he was at, it was harder to do because, like they've been saying, like that system in New England is built for a motherfucker like Tom Brady, like this dude that's just gonna sit there, zip it around, throw precise passes, just quick, boom, boom, boom. Like Cam is not that. He's not that guy. Like he needs a different type of offensive system than that fit. Like that's why I always said that's not a good fit for him. Josh Daniels act like he's just able to just contort his offense around whoever the QB is, but that's not the case. Like, if that was the case, he would have took that Indianapolis head coaching job. No, he decided to stay in New England so he could coach Tom Brady and just make himself look like he just this mastermind of offense. He ain't shit for real. He just need a certain cookie cutter, and Mac Jones fits the cookie cutter of what they want. And Cam is left on the outside.
Well, no, I don't want to just say that because he clearly beat Cam out for that spot.
I don't know. People saying that it was a lot closer than that.
The teammates talking about Mac Jones is currently studying the defensive playbook so he can learn how the team runs and what the weaknesses are. And they talking about ain't nobody ever seen that out of a rookie quarterback that early in their situation. Cam could have been doing that for a year and a half while he was there. He didn't. Nobody ever heard him talk about that. So clearly, I don't know if you were just relying on what you thought the ability you had left. It's not enough. It's just not enough.
I think he was studying.
That there's rookies willing to do that coming out of the league. Like, how long Cam been in the league?
10, 11 years now, something like that.
It's been around there.
Yeah, I figure he's 32.
Exactly,
he came out when he's probably about like 22 or so, 23 maybe. So at least about solid 9 to 11 years he's been in the league.
I'd be willing to bet my life savings, which isn't much, but I'd be willing to bet it, that Cam has never studied nobody's fucking defensive playbook other than
I completely disagree.
I thought he was playing. Not in his own. I'm talking about his own defensive playbook. You think Cam was on the Panthers like, let me study the defensive playbook for the Panthers? Nah, Cam wasn't doing that.
The
Cam
only reason I say
he was athletic enough to run it on his own, so he didn't have to do that.
Only reason I say I can, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons I say I can agree with what Cliff is saying is because you got to think back to Michael Vick. This dude never really studied playbooks, period. Like, but he just was so gifted. He was so gifted athletically that he just let that overcompensate for everything else. He figured
Auburn.
And I can see Cam kind of doing the same thing because he's like, you look at his game and everything, he always felt like his athleticism can kind of get him out of any bind where he probably never really had to study playbooks like that. That's why he's never been an accurate passer like that. To be an accurate passer, you got to be able to pre-read defenses and then post-read defenses once the ball is snapped. And if you never get to that point because you always relying on your legs and your athleticism, you're never going to be an accurate passer.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why Deshaun Watson is one of the illest out there because he has both. Literally, like this dude, he'll move around and he's still going to get the ball all the way where it needs to go. Lamar Jackson can't even do that yet. That's why.
Yeah, I guess you could put Jameis in the magician category, but I still feel like he's more of a pocket threat than a magician.
Jameis is just immature, so his immaturity shows in his
decision making.
His choice making. Like that's why he had so many interceptions. Then he had.
You could tell Jameis Winston used to roll dice, though. You could tell he used to roll dice, and he was calling 7-11. He was one of them niggas that used to call 7-11 every trip out the gate.
And hit it 7 times straight.
I don't know if he's quite hitting 7 times straight, but
no, that's the type of he would hit 7 times straight and then he'll lose. 10 times
like that's what I'm saying. Like he'll do something crazy with it.
I'm following.
Yeah, he's just one of those. You can tell he had like that. Yeah, if you went out to Vegas with him, he's just gonna be reckless.
Because he ain't run in Florida. He stayed in the pocket in Florida.
He did. Well, he ran. He did.
He ran when he had to, but he was a pocket quarterback with the ability to run. That's like Mahomes. I'm a pocket quarterback, but I can move if I have to.
Right.
But I don't want to.
Hey, but think about this though. Like this is one thing I thought about just over the time. I'm sorry, I don't mean
to cut you off. Completely disrespectful for me to compare Jameis Winston to Mahomes. I just want to point that out. But continue.
Yeah. No. What I was gonna say is like you got to think too, as far as Jameis Winston with his maturity issues. You got to think, man. He got drafted from Florida State and then went to Tampa Bay. He never really had a chance to get out of
Florida
actually grow up.
Right.
He's been king in Florida. Like this dude he went to Florida State and won a national championship, a Heisman. So he's already been pampered his whole life out there. And then he goes to a team that's in Florida. He can't do no wrong. So in his mind, he's never going to grow up because he's getting treated like a king. It took him going to New Orleans where motherfuckers was like, listen, that's what you did over there. We don't know about all that over here.
That's
like, you're going to have to earn your stripes over here. And you got to think, man, when these college kids that's immature get traded, they get drafted to a team in the same state that they already went to college. Like, they're never going to have room for growth because they still being pampered the whole fucking time.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes you got to get out of your environment to know that the rest of the world don't operate like this.
Right.
And
listen, who you telling? I moved from New York to Ohio. Believe me, I know. Like, I had to get out. Not even saying like I was like, no, what I'm saying is like sometimes you got to change your environment to get different results. Whether it be positive, negative, or in between, but if if your 2 plus 2 is equaling 7, obviously the math that you're dealing with the equation ain't right. Like you got to figure it out. So you got to, all right, well, me plus what I'm doing equals this. And sometimes you got to take a person out of their environment for them to come to a different equation on their math. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So I feel like him going to Florida State and then getting drafted to Tampa Bay, being there for all those years, he was in too much of a comfort zone in that area where it's like he's around a bunch of yes men from college. So he's never going to actually grow mentally because he's around a bunch of people that been with him since college. So it's like
they needed to send him to the Vikings or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he needed that type of.
I was just about to ask that. So is New Orleans the best place for him? Because
I think the structure that they have in New Orleans because of Drew Brees and what you call it, the coach? I can't think of his name right
Sean,
now.
McVay?
Peyton?
No,
Peyton.
We will. We're fucking these names up.
I was about to say Sean
Payton. Michaels. Sean Payton.
It is Sean Payton.
Yeah.
I was about to say Shawn Michaels, like it's some WWF shit. But no, yeah, Sean Payton. I think that Sean Payton, being the creative mind that he is as far as offense, you got to think one of the limitations that he had in New Orleans was not being able to push the ball down the field, in which Jameis Winston, he can do that all day. So it was just like it was kind of like a perfect storm as far as him ending up in New Orleans, sitting behind Drew Brees, seeing how to prepare for a game, seeing how to be a real professional. Like he never had the opportunity to do that because he went to Tampa Bay and he
there was no standard, no standard.
They did throw him straight
so you got to think like the Jameis Winston that you're gonna see this year is probably gonna be a lot different because it's no different than when LeBron left Cleveland and went to Miami and just got around.
Hold on. I don't feel like LeBron was ever. No, I don't feel like.
I feel like
learn how to with
win.
Jameis
he had
Winston,
to learn how to win first, so he could come back and bring the.
I understand that.
Right. That's a good. Yeah.
But I just feel like maturity wise, I don't feel like LeBron was ever on.
No. Yeah, right.
Jameis Winston.
He came out of high school, so he had to learn. He had to be around people and learn how to win. He had to be in the organization that.
You do have to learn how to win. I think we talked about that like 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was talking about like just being in a culture of always winning plays a role as opposed to you getting drafted and coming to a culture where you always losing. Like if you a Jets fan, you know what I'm saying? Like if you get drafted to the Jets, like. Ain't nothing happening over there. You can spend years there losing.
I'll actually,
you know, GMs is in and out, coaches in and out.
I'll actually have to give and this is just my opinion, but I'll actually have to give point to Britt to this one because regardless of LeBron's history of winning, he came to that awful Cleveland squad and brought them to the playoffs within 3 years.
Oh, it makes me so proud.
As a player that could still be potentially playing in college.
Right. You got to think, though, he came straight from high school to an organization that has a losing history, and it was overwhelming for him to try to change the culture. So he dipped like, yo, I got to go. Ain't nobody trying to come over here to Cleveland. Right. I'm trying. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking my talents to Miami. He went out there and figured out the formula. Like, all right, so this is how this goes. Because you got to think, he didn't play college ball. He didn't play at Duke or Kentucky or anywhere that had anything that could have seasoned him to do that. So he had to go somewhere else to figure it out. And then he brung it back to Cleveland.
Watch this. Watch how I do this. LeBron actually changed the formula like the new math.
Of free agency, period.
Yeah, like the new math, how the new math changes everything. And now I'll be like, I don't understand how you get that. That's how LeBron did his thing.
He changed up. Yeah, he changed up. Like, I'm going to get you the answer, but I ain't going to do it orthodox.
Right. Now watch how I do this.
He's the reason why Cats is forming these teams now.
Right. Based on your... Nah, I can't even call that ain't even jumping out the window. That's jumping off the roof, baby. Entertainment ain't that much for me to say some crazy shit like that. So are you saying that Sam Darnold is the New York Jets LeBron James?
Who?
He went to college.
Cali from the block.
Well, you gotta go to. I mean, you
Hell
gotta
no.
go to college.
You can't go to
in
come out of high
No.
school in the NFL.
Hell no, I'm not
So
You're
saying
not
that.
saying
so
that?
then-
No.
so then
I
you can't-
know. I was jumping out the. I was
Sam
jumping off
Darnold
the
didn't come
roof.
nowhere in this conversation.
But
Sam Darnold, he definitely got dealt a bad hand, that's for sure.
And he
But
did
his maturity, I'm saying like, no, there's a difference we talking about two different sports. One, Sam Darnold, he had to rely on too many different moving pieces for him to be successful.
Right.
Football is a game where you can be Dan Marino if you end up on the goddamn Browns of the fucking 90s.
No, say the Jets. What are you hopping around?
The Browns
for? Say
of
the
the
Jets.
90s.
Right.
If you end up on
2000s.
the Jets, you don't need to go to the Browns. Say the Jets.
Hey man, we have more of a winning history more lately than y'all just got. Y'all just
You
got
right.
the last 2
I don't
years.
understand.
We went
Y'all
to two
delusional.
we
Y'all
went to two
delusional about
AFC
y'all's
championships in 09 and 010. Y'all
Man, we
just now
talking about
started
right
winning.
now.
Said
If they
before
come
the
into
I
the
said
league
90s.
right
I said
now.
Browns in the 90s. I didn't say recent.
We
I said Browns
in the
90s.
present day. I'm just saying. Just say
All right,
if
so
you come
he
into a
coulda went,
team.
all right, what I'm saying is that he could have went to the Browns. He could have went to the Colts before Peyton Manning. There's a bunch of teams I could have picked. But what I'm saying is that when you go to something like that, and football-wise, organizationally, it's fucked up. Like there's nothing that you can do as far as being a quarterback, whatever.
Right.
So that's why I can't say Sam Darnold is like the LeBron James or anything. Sam Darnold is the Sam Darnold because he went to the Jets and the shit fucked up.
I was just saying that from a sense of coming from USC, and I'm not saying that USC was.
They wasn't winning like that at USC.
That's what I was about to say. I'm not saying that he was winning like that, but it was a winning organization.
Yeah, but
and
my
then you
thing
go
was
to
my
a
thing.
team that expects you to produce, right?
Yeah.
And you don't do awful in the 3 years, because let's be honest, Sam Darnold had it worse than LeBron because LeBron only had one coaching change while he was there the first time.
Yeah, Sam Darnold had 3.
Exactly.
No, really. Technically, it's 2 because he got drafted with the Todd Bowles era. Todd Bowles was going after his first year, and then he had 2. He had 2 years of Adam Gase.
But once again, as you said,
Adam
football
Gase,
is different than basketball. You can have a coaching change in basketball and still me being LeBron James, I can make sure this shit works.
Because it's less impactful players to make the situation happen with basketball. You don't need as much. You can just
Callie said it. Sam's LeBron James.
Absolutely not.
I'm just playing.
No,
just playing.
No, don't put me down on that one. No, what I will say is that Sam Darnold, he got into a bad situation, but I wouldn't compare it to LeBron James because LeBron James, with it being 1 out of 5, he has a lot more. He has a lot more pathway to be more impactful on what goes on the court.
Another question.
Versus,
Big if Sam Darnold becomes comparable to Marino stats, with or without a chip, you give him LeBron then?
No.
I ain't gonna lie.
Still no?
I would go more Ryan Tannehill than LeBron. I mean, if he's gonna go LeBron, he's gonna have.
I feel like we're using the wrong standard here. Like we giving.
I was gonna say LeBron. You gotta give him chips.
We're giving him way too much credit.
That's what I was saying.
You gotta
give him some
chips for him to do it.
You're right. It started as a joke, and now I was.
No. If you compare to, I would say compare to like Ryan Tannehill. That would be the most comparable situation that I can think of. And Ryan Tannehill came from, once again, Adam Gase. Oh, my goodness. I just want to hit him with a fucking spiked bat in his nuts. I hate that.
I agree or disagree.
No, you got to think, though, like, Ryan Tannehill is doing good right now. He was under Adam Gase and did horrible. Like, Adam Gase is like, he's the worst. Like, this dude's still living off that 1 year when he was the offensive coordinator in Denver.
Are you basing
Peyton Manning was the quarterback. Like, Peyton Manning is, did you see his Hall of Fame statue, bro? This nigga's head is the size of my refrigerator. Like, he's smart as fuck. Like, that dude was the offensive coordinator himself. Adam Gase didn't have to do nothing but sit on the reclining couch on the sideline and chill out.
Right.
And he's getting all his props from it. Like, no, Adam Gase was a yes man to Peyton Manning. That's why Peyton Manning endorses this dude. Because Peyton Manning will come back and be like, listen, this is what I'm about to do. Adam Gates will be like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, do that.
Right.
And then he got a whole 2 head coaching gigs off of that. Like, bruh, Sam Darnold got stuck with that dude after having Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is like a fucking statue himself. You seen that dude at the conferences? Like, he just like,
He said he was high.
I'm not gonna talk. No, I'm just gonna.
He reminded me of Aaron when he did that, man.
Man, listen. I mean, Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator, but he's not built to be a head coach. Like Rex Ryan was the same thing. Like he was not built to be a head coach.
Okay, last question, and this is just because I'm curious, and we gonna move on before we get on to the last topic. Unless y'all have other topics, of course, but. Are you basing the Tannehill argument just off of the fact that he came from Gates?
Yes, solely, mostly yes.
Okay, I just want to.
No, yeah. I bring the Tannehill topic up all the time because that's a true situation of bad coaching to good coaching.
I can see like what you're saying, though.
Yeah, you went from like, okay, this is my system. You need to fit into my system. To all right, this is what you do good, so let me work around with what you got going on. And that's the biggest difference. Like if somebody working around what you got going on versus, someone having their system and you have to fit into their system. Think about all of the players that Adam Gates alienated from Miami to New York, like star players that was like, I'm done, like I'm out because he always felt like he was bigger than whatever else was going on. Like the players make the plays, dude. You ain't even that cold. But,
I said that. I said it very rarely does it work when you bring somebody in and fit the system around them. It's usually you bring somebody in that fits the system. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Right.
Especially
football. I gotta do my 1-2, man.
Who you hit the showers if you hopping off?
Oh, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. My hit the showers is still gonna go to New England because I want to see y'all fail heavily with Mac Jones because at the end of the day, man, y'all did my boy Cam dirty and he ain't do nothing but try to make y'all look good. But the hell with New England anyway. Jets up all day, baby. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
All right, cuz.
All right, Callie.
I'm gonna holler at y'all.
Yeah. I got a question for y'all, and this is a good question. Well, first, I'm gonna start it off by saying, as I'm sure y'all heard, Saints released Devontae Freeman.
Yeah.
And then the Titans released Javian Hawkins, right?
I don't even know who that is.
He was a running back. He was like a.
He played for Ohio State.
Low.
Stop.
Low for Tennessee. But
I'm not familiar.
My question is this a testament to Kamara and Derrick Henry just being durable enough that y'all feel like can, lead y'all's team with no additional help? Or is this like a evolution of the modern NFL?
Neither. I just don't think they're the right fits for those teams. I just think they're just not. They're out of their prime. They're not good enough. They're not.
Yeah, because didn't Freeman?
You don't think use at all?
Devontae Freeman hasn't been good for the past. What is it? At least 2 to 3 seasons or so when he was in Atlanta.
Well, I was going to say, wasn't he the leading back, if not last year, most of
not last year, Bruce.
Last year and the year before, right?
No.
Say that again, Malcolm.
Derrick Henry.
No, for Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I mean for Atlanta. He was cool in Atlanta. He did good in Atlanta.
So he was in Atlanta last year, still, right?
Oh yeah. Hold on.
No, he wasn't. He was in New Orleans, I believe.
I'll check it out.
Wait, if Devontae Freeman was in New Orleans last year, then they have all right to drop him because he didn't do anything. And when he was in Atlanta, the last time he was in Atlanta, he was the featured like he was one of the main backs, and he still didn't make nothing shake. So my thing is like, if you can't make it shake as a lead back,
right?
Yeah,
come on.
And here's
what are we talking about?
Information. He played for Atlanta from 2014 to 2019.
Right.
Last year, he actually played for the Giants.
What?
Oh, see,
this off season, he was trying out for the Saints, basically to make the roster, and obviously he got cut.
Now, see, if he played for the Giants, I don't know where he was on the roster, but
I didn't even know about that.
With Saquon going down, that, like I said, it's already a testament to what he's able to do. Yeah, so
the best year Devontae's ever had was
like that rookie
2016.
Yeah,
his third year.
That was his third year.
Yeah, he had 1,079 yards, averaged 4.8, 227 attempts, 11 touchdowns, 54 receptions.
Oh, so that was
he did his thing.
His only 1,000-yard season then.
Well, he was 1,000 yards his sophomore year too.
Okay.
Yeah, 1,056.
He wasn't as good though. I think he got injured a little bit. And I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I mean he must have been through injuries because it says in 2018 he only had 14 attempts for 68 yards. So clearly, there must have been some injuries here and there.
I don't know if it was injuries or he just wasn't producing at some point.
He's not producing. I mean, to answer, like I said, Cliff, in my opinion, it wasn't either. It's just these aren't your guys. They're not. They're washed. I hate to say it, y'all are washed.
Right. And I mean, go ahead, Britt.
And I was gonna say, think about it too. Like if you were hot how many running backs were hot in 2016 and they're hot now?
Right. No, you're right. That's a great point to make. See, okay, so my whole question, the whole reason why I posed the question like that is because when you think about it, the top teams in the league all pass heavy. Kansas City, Buccaneers, Buffalo Bills. You can even though it doesn't count, you can even put the Ravens in there because usually the quarterback is the one that rushes for the most yards. And that's because all of those aren't designed rush plays. Some of those are broken pass plays. Some of those, you know what I mean? Right. It's not like your goal is to drive the ball down throats. We don't have a league where that exists anymore.
It's not run heavy unless you're
the Browns.
Cleveland is the number one team that comes to mind when I think run the ball down their throat and then get
Titans.
Of course, because they got Henry.
Pittsburgh's always been a pretty run heavy team.
They try to
Not
be.
the past
they try
couple
to
years.
be. They try to be, but I
Juju,
consider them more balanced. Pittsburgh more balanced.
They've always, like, especially when Jerome Bettis used to be there and stuff, the bus.
Oh yeah.
You know,
back in the day, but that was a run game back then, though.
Right, what I'm saying is that they use it.
Yeah, they never. But I mean, he was a third down back. He wasn't no every down back.
He was for a little bit.
Well, it must have been when he was in St. Louis because it wasn't in Pittsburgh. They had Willie Parker.
It's only a few teams that's going to really run this year, in my opinion. Of course, we talked about the Browns, the Titans. I think the Giants, you got to run when you got Saquon Barkley.
Dallas.
Has he come back?
Dallas.
Yes, Saquon's back and looking, bro.
Is he back? He's been practicing for a while. Is he back?
I mean, I don't think he played in the preseason, obviously, because but
they're not going to risk him being injured in the preseason.
2 weeks ago, he was not back.
Let me see.
Yeah, they're not going to play him.
He was practicing. Wasn't back. And I understand that, but usually they say if he's back, he's back. If they won't say he's back right now, that's because they're questioning if he'll be back by opening kickoff.
I don't think so. I think they're questioning. They don't want to risk putting him out there in the preseason. So if they say he's back, then people are going to be questioning him. Well, why is he not in? Well, they don't want to risk that. So we're just going to say he's not back until it's time for him to be back.
And
it's still up in the air.
I see that being diplomatic, but let's be honest. If you're Saquon and somebody asked you 2 weeks ago, are you back? If you don't say, yeah, I'm back, I'm just not playing in the preseason, that leads me to believe you're not back.
What did he say?
We'll see how it goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's still up for discussion, his return.
Right. That's my whole thing. And even still, that's a bad sign because I don't expect for you, especially at the running back position. That's like fighting. You can't just jump back in the ring and think you gonna win fights. Nah,
that's
nigga,
true.
you gotta acclimate yourself. Get back into it. Spar some.
For sure.
So if you think you're just gonna hop back being Saquon Barkley, it's not gonna happen, G. We saw what happened to Ezekiel Elliott, right?
But we also saw Adrian Peterson with a broken neck, and he came back, and that boy was a beast.
Well, Adrian Peterson's different, but that's another point of mine, because when I think what I'm getting at when I say the evolution of the modern NFL is you notice how like the NBA got rid of the traditional point guard position. Doesn't exist. They're trying to get rid of them. You think of all the natural centers, or I said point guard, the natural center position, I mean. You think of all the centers, they're getting shopped around. DeAndre Jordan, Andre Drummond, Dwight Howard, they're getting shopped around because there's no use for them anymore. Now you think of the highest paid backs in the league, Christian McCaffrey. But what is he, though? He's not just a running back.
He can catch.
He's a slot, too. He'll line up on the side. He'll do all that, right? Then you think of the next. Ezekiel Elliott fell off last year. Hoping he comes back this year. Let's go next. Todd Gurley, injury prone. Injury prone.
Fell off.
Right.
He did fall off, though.
These are the highest paid running back contracts. Let's go next. After Todd Gurley, it's who is it?
But you know what though? It might not even come down to.
Damn, I can't think.
I think it could come down to running backs just don't have longevity. Like you get 3 years, live it up for your 3 years, and after that, we don't expect much from you. Like that's just how it is. Like you don't have those running backs that you can, it's not no Emmitt Smiths where you can year in, year out.
They used to run more back then, and it seemed like they lasted longer, right?
Right. Right.
That's my thing. Like, what's going on?
You got Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Ezekiel Elliott, Dalvin Cook.
Oh no, not currently. These are highest paid of all time.
Oh, you're saying of all time.
Of all time. So when you look at that list, all of them, Adrian Peterson, he falls on it somewhere. I don't know where. But when you look at all of them, it's still you look at it as it's a nervous situation. I'm rolling the dice doing this. The only one that wasn't a roll of the dice was Christian McCaffrey, and that's because you can line him up at receiver. You don't have to just run him down your throat. That's not his style of back. So he's going to last longer, and he's going to get you more yards. So that leads me to believe that in the near future, we don't see any more real Derrick Henrys.
I mean, you never know.
I think we will. We just it just won't be
as prevalent. It won't be as many of
you
them.
got like you just have a few. Whereas in the past, you might not even probably like 6 years ago, you had a long list of running backs that you probably could rely on, maybe a little bit more than 6 years ago. But now it's like you really just have those. And I'm thinking whenever I do say this, I'm talking fantasy wise. I always think about it in the terms of like fantasy sports.
Right.
You really got about a good 5, in my opinion, that you can really rely on.
Well, I feel like that's all it will ever be at any given point in time. Very rarely will you have an NFL season where you have 15 out of 30, 32 teams that are legitimate running backs. That's not a thing. You know what I mean? So 5 usually that sounds about right. 5 that guarantee you points. I feel like that's been close throughout the history of the league.
Again, like I said, I'm always coming from a fantasy standpoint where it was like, if you are a starting running back for a team, more than likely you're going to get out there and do a little something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you start a running back for Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going to get me some points. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. And it kind of went that way for a lot of teams. So I'm not saying 50% of the teams you could count on in that way, but a higher number than what you can in this day and age, for sure.
No, definitely, because I'm thinking about it off the top of my head, and I go all the way back to like Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen, and all them. Like there was an era where a lot of teams had decent running backs, but I can't think of a recent era where I can just go down the list of all the running backs on each team that were just shit.
Eddie George, who was my boy on the Buccaneers and played for the Warwick Dunn. Brian Westbrook, was that his name? Yeah, for my Eagles, and he ended up going to, I want to say, Washington.
That might be, he might be close, because that was around, what's the name, with the Broncos.
Curtis Martin from the Jets.
Terrell Davis.
That's
late. That's later. No, I guess Curtis Martin was around that time.
No, he was around that time. Yeah, so he's been out. He was out for a while.
You might be right there.
No, Cuddy, because just like put this way, Brittany,
Tiki Barber and them.
Tiki Bar. So let's just say this, y'all. Around Madden 07 kind of ish era.
You might be right.
In those terms, there was some.
You might be right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
you might be right.
Priest Holmes, Chiefs.
I feel like even all of those players had longer careers than just 3 years.
Oh, I agree.
And they ran more.
I agree.
Were used more.
What was the running back for Washington and Denver?
Denver was Terrell Davis. Washington.
After Terrell Davis, there was another hot running back you ended up playing for.
Washington. Yeah, you are right.
I can't think of his name. That's gonna bug me. I'm about to look it up. That's gonna bug me. You know what I'm talking about, though. It was after.
You're throwing off. You threw off my thought process. That's that Presque Vu.
Presque, listen, I can't tell you. Listen.
Yeah, not deja vu. That's Presque Vu, where you know something and it's right on the tip of your tongue, but you can't spit it out.
I just learned something new. Clinton Portis.
Definitely knew that, right? No, you're right. That was a good era of running back.
Yeah,
but it's I said that to say it's uncommon. It's uncommon to see a lot of running backs doing something.
Remember Jamal Lewis for the Ravens? He was one of the original Derrick Henry type.
No, yeah, I definitely remember Jamal Lewis.
That was a big dude, bro, running that ball.
So the question is, my original question, which I should have just simplified, is do we get back to that? Do we ever get back to that? Or does the running back position become obsolete? Because right now, it's only used half the time.
You're right. I mean,
I don't think we get back to it anytime soon. Not saying that we won't get back to it, but I don't know if it'd be like I don't think it'd be like in the next 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like the game is just changing
right now.
We are. It's like backyard football.
Right. Like quarterback runs all.
Right.
And all the running back does is either fake the handoff and block or curl out for a screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you using him for? If you're not using him like Christian McCaffrey. And once again, Christian McCaffrey is the son of great Ed McCaffrey, the wide receiver. Son of a wide receiver, not a running back.
Oh, you did say that, didn't you?
Right. So he learned how to catch a ball, I guarantee, before he learned anything else.
Did his dad play wide receiver for the Jets?
The Broncos.
Okay.
Yeah, the Broncos.
I don't know who I'm
You're thinking of
the white guys. He played with the.
It's a weird name.
You know what I'm talking about, though. Cali.
McCaffrey ain't white.
No, but it's a weird name. Like.
That's gonna bug me because he was on there with that light skinned wide receiver.
Cali would definitely know. I just can't think of his name. He was the original not Weidman.
Wes
Edelman.
Edelman,
Yeah, Welker and Edelman.
Yeah.
He was the original. I guarantee it has an X in it somewhere.
Right. I'm about to look it up just because. My bad.
I remember him though. He was a kick returner too. He was fast as shit.
Bruh.
He was only like 5'8", 5'9".
That's a bad white. That was a bad white.
He was, man. He was the first white wide receiver I saw and was like, what the fuck?
Right. I was astonished. Look, astonished.
Right. He said
gonna be a lot more of that in the future.
He said, look, astonished.
Astonished. Put a different one
I
out.
agree. What'd you say, Brett?
Yep.
I said it's gonna be a lot more of that in the future. Just wait.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I'm waiting to see the white running backs. That's what I can't wait to see. The ones that come out.
Wayne Trebek.
Wayne Trebek. That's exactly what
I was a
said.
bad white boy.
That
was a bad
Wayne
boy.
Trebek. But yeah, that's exactly who it was.
Yeah.
Was he like 81 or something? 80?
His number?
Yeah. It was something. I remember him.
Yeah, he was.
That was back when the Jets had the ugly jerseys.
Bruh. Atrocious.
But I got one more topic before we round off the pod. I want to know what y'all think about this whole Bishop Sycamore situation.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
That's what and then we can wrap it up. But I want to know what y'all feel about this Bishop Sycamore situation.
I don't know enough about it. You know what I'm saying? I know that I just know that they made up a school and got a great schedule to play some of the top teams in the nation. That's all I know. Besides the fact that it was supposed to be a school in Ohio and it didn't exist.
It just, I don't get it. I don't.
You know what vibes I'm getting from it? I'm sorry, guys. What's the one dude that had the fake girlfriend at Notre Dame?
Oh, Monty, something like Monty or Monte.
Te'o or something like that. Yeah.
Linebacker.
So that's the vibes I'm getting from it. Like, hold on, what all happened? And didn't it like? I can't believe it made it this far.
That's what I'm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the vibe. Like this can't be real. Like this has to be made up for entertainment purposes. Like there's no way.
No, they've been playing teams.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. When you see the game, it can't be fake. they were.
But it's just so many parts, though. It's just so many parts. Like, okay, you come up with this fake team. People are accepting this fake team. The players on the team are also accepting being on a fake team. Like, I need to know more.
Right.
Like,
so
you know what I'm saying? Like,
my understand. In a nutshell, these children got hustled.
I heard that a lot of them weren't children; they were like college dropouts.
Yeah, I heard some.
Well, no,
I could be wrong though. Like I said, I have not researched this. So.
I looked at a couple articles, and what I gathered was, and one broke down a timeline. So, dude, I can't think of dude's name. Tried to start a charter school. You remember when all them charter schools like what was it called, ECOT or whatever, for the kids that dropped out and still wanted to get their GED, and they would go to that school over by Eastland Mall and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I think because I think that wasn't actually something connected to Columbus Public, but it wasn't a charter school. I think it was actually something
that might not be. It might not be ECOT then, but whatever it was, I know a couple people that went there, and it was like a online, like not online. You had to go, but you did your work on a computer or whatever to graduate, and you got your little. Some places even gave out actual diplomas. It wasn't just a GED; it was an actual diploma.
Mm-hmm.
Dude tried to make one of his own. And did not get licensed through the Ohio State Board of Education or whatever the case may be. He was accepting people into the school and enrolling them into the football team. The football team was not acknowledged by OSHA. You know what I mean? So he wasn't getting to play teams in Columbus. So he would have to travel with his squad to play. they accused him of patent stats because a lot of the teams was like, they were saying like, you're playing three days apart, like your games are 3 days
Back to
apart,
back.
like, and you're not, like, you're playing out of state and shit. Like, how are you playing 3 games apart if you're going out of state to play your games? So they started questioning shit, right? This is way back. School got closed down because they looked into it. He then rebranded the school as a different name. Can't think of it off the top of my head. This is just me thinking from the article. And does it again. No, they don't get caught. But I guess it gets big enough to where he rebrands it again to Bishop Sycamore.
But my thing is just like, I have so many questions. So
Still not
you have
recognized by OSHA or anything like that, though, which is another reason why I ask, how did ESPN, you know what I mean? Like, how
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting the Notre Dame vibes. Like, how did you get? How we even get there? Because my thing is like, all right, you don't have a school, right? So with you not having a school, like how are you getting people to enroll? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you even picking how are you even picking up football players? Like,
team.
So they don't have. So these players usually, you know, if a kid wants to play football, they have a goal in mind. Like, hey, I'm trying to get a scholarship. I'm trying to go here. I'm trying to go there. They're not just playing for fun. So how are you getting these people that are okay with playing for fun? Because you don't really have a school. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able.
I think honestly, he's whoever started it is the dickhead. I think he was enrolling students. I think he was saying, it's very easy, right? If you say, I'm a high school dropout, right? I'm a high school dropout around the age of 18, 19 at the latest. I want a shot, but I really want to play sports. Well, I can offer you a GED or diploma and get you a shot on a football team. Well, do I have to go to a university? Nah, you could do your work online and just come to football practice. It's a lot of kids that be like, what the fuck? I don't even have a shot at the NFL, but I'll do that just to get a scholar or just get to, you know what I mean?
No, I mean, like, you may do that, but it's just like, what did he have them enrolling into, right? What do you have them enrolling into? Like, what program do you have set up online for these kids to enroll into?
And were they getting diplomas if they're not being recognized by the Ohio Board of Education? Like, are you hustling these kids? What's going on?
That's what I'm saying. It's too many people on a football team for, if it was a couple kids, I can understand, but it's just too many people on a football team for you to get away with this with the whole football team. And then where is he getting the money to fund taking them on the road?
Well, he started.
I mean, that can come from a lot of different places, but you get what I'm saying.
He started.
It needs to be accounted for.
But he just closed one out after he got busted the other day.
Right, for the 20,000 one. That's what. Yeah, I saw that too. That too. But see, here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. ESPN stated they were unaware.
Right.
Because the game was booked by a third party called Paragon Paragon. I wrote it down. Paragon Marketing Group. Right? But in the middle of the game, before they even hit halftime, if it's a clip, they got it clipped out. Dude says they were supposed to have D1 athletes on this team, but they didn't come up on any of our databases or any of the other recruiting databases we're affiliated with.
Max Preps.
So wait the fuck a minute. Because I know you didn't run it after the game started. Right?
Right.
You ran that shit before the game took place and said, well, where are the D1 athletes that they said they had?
Right.
Oh, well, we don't have time to book nobody else. let's send these calves out to slaughter is what you did.
Right.
So before we be so quick, now I'll preface it with this. The way that the dude put it in the article, and this has been said even before this has taken place, is he wanted his school for disenfranchised youth that have made mistakes and can't get back into school and shit like that. Honorable, right? Mm-hmm. If you're doing it correct. Right? But regardless of if the kids were 18, 17, 16 playing in this game, I do not fault them at all, right? Because all they're doing is suiting up and playing for the team they thought they was supposed to be playing for. The fault comes down to whoever thought that you could fake it till you make it on ESPN.
Tripping.
On ESPN and get beat 58-0. To the point that the analysts are saying that they're scared for the children's lives on the field.
Why?
Why? Because they were that outmatched. That's like think about it though. Think about it. Like logically think about it. That's like somebody lying on the resume and getting a job as a pilot.
Now they gotta produce.
Getting a job as a pilot and saying, even though I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, we taking off on flight 57 today. Who would do that in their right mind? Like, who would be like, yeah, my kids are good enough.
Listen, man, first and foremost, shame on him for having 18 and 19-year-olds losing to regular high school students. They should have had a slight upper hand. They should have been able to score. So shame on him for producing that weak of a team. And then my thing is just like, I still don't know if I believe it. I think it's all a little for entertainment purposes. At the end of the day, same thing with the dude that had the girlfriend for years and didn't know that she wasn't real. Allowed himself to be catfished. Like, come on, man. You a whole star on a football team. You should be having all types of hoes. And you sit here worried about somebody that you can't see.
I think it's the clout.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, man, because he shouldn't have even been like that. Shouldn't even be a story. Like, you should have been getting campus hoes.
What? No, I'm not talking about him.
But I'm just saying, like,
he was probably telling them girls too, like, I'm in a committed relationship.
Yeah, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he shouldn't even been worried about somebody that didn't exist because of what was going on. Like, I know you getting treated right at Notre Dame, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you getting treated right up there. And it wasn't like he wasn't going pro. So come on, man. Like, you know how those star athletes are. There's no reason he should have even been concerned. Like, it didn't seem real to me. In the same way, this don't seem real to me. Like, come on. If we went to a regular high school, if they wanted to put Lincoln on ESPN, you know how hard it would be for them coaches to get Lincoln on ESPN as a real team. And somehow this dude got on as a fake team. It's like, man, I'm just not buying it. It's something. It's something that I don't.
The first thing I noticed when they were on the sidelines is, and I thought to myself, like, maybe ESPN supplies them. But I was thinking to myself, like, why they all got headsets on?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. The money involved in it is just like, I can't. Where's this money coming from to do all this?
And even if ESPN supplied them with headsets based on their story, in order for their story to be true, they wouldn't have known how to use them. You think they'd have known how to use them headsets? That if
it's all show
that they say that they come from knows how to use a headset to communicate with the skybox. They don't even have a skybox where they claim they come from.
That's an indicator of the highest level of Texas high school football. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I would expect from the number one ranked team in Texas. Headsets, people in the skybox, you know, on some NFL type or high level college stuff where they got multiple people looking at the defensive coordinator up there and et cetera, et cetera. But like, I don't like. Come on,
they have that here, but it's not this. It's not the same. Usually, well, I guess maybe. With usually all the coaches that I know, it's one person up in the skybox that communicates down to one person on the field that relays that information to the rest of the team. So maybe it is just that simple that if all of them put on the headset, they all hear it, and they don't have to have it relayed to. I don't know. Either way, it seemed fishy to me that all of them knew what they were doing in that. I don't know, but watching the playback, the highlights, and all that, I was like, yeah, it just doesn't.
It's entertainment, man. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's like staged entertainment. They throw these things out there every now and then people just eat it up. I mean, it is funny. You know what I'm saying? It gave me a chuckle. So I'm not mad at it, but it definitely doesn't seem real for me.
It gives you a chuckle looking from the outside in, right?
But do they even have a website?
I think because they had a website, but they shut it down. That was they shut that down. It says under construction right now.
They listed their home address as a Easton.
Not Easton.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I recognize the neighborhood when they showed the. I said, "Oh, I know where that's at." I was about to say, I know the nigga that lives there. But then I said, nope, it might be next door.
Right. It might be a neighbor.
Listen, they're wilding. But I don't hold the kids accountable. Listen, it's a lot of kids in regular high schools that's 19. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not common, but you see that.
Those are grown men.
But you still see that. So what I'm saying is, you're supposed, as a senior, you're supposed to be 18, right?
Right.
So if this is a senior squad, shouldn't be uncommon that you see 18-year-olds on it. My whole thing is those children were just suiting up and fighting for their brothers, like they supposed to do when they signed up for the game. Did not once see them kids quit. They definitely looked demoralized, but they did not quit. That is on the coach and the people that scheduled that game for them.
Right.
They should be a fucking shame for themselves. They've already been fired. The coach has been fired. And my whole thing is the coach has been the coach.
They didn't exist.
The coach has been the coach since 2018. They haven't existed since 2008.
Listen,
man, like I said, it's too
crazy.
Much going on for me to really believe in the story for real. Too much going on.
Well, they got DeWine involved. DeWine's having a full, thorough investigation.
Right, and I know that they just released that shit where you can make money off your name and likeness. The way them boys took a ass whooping, they better get paid off their name and likeness the way everybody talking about them, or at least in a lawsuit. Because something is fucked up about this situation. And they took that beating for 4 quarters. Pay them boys.
Ain't nobody paying them niggas.
Y'all didn't stop it. You feel me? They were talking about
they didn't stop it. They thought it was a regular game.
How fucked up it was.
But Clip, they've been
before halftime.
Clip, they've been getting blown out. Did you see their last game before that? They said a couple days before.
I looked at the
another reason why I don't believe it. Like, come on, you talking about top teams putting them on the schedule based off of what?
Cliff, what's the quote? Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. Fuck that peace sign. You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen, that motherfucker. How many people did he fool? Who did he think he was? He thought he was Leonardo DiCaprio.
We gotta give it to him though.
And you know what makes me mad in all these situations? They always use Ohio. I feel like it always be like they always want to use Ohio for stuff like that. Like, leave us out of it. Do Wisconsin or something. Like,
nah, because
Michigan
used to get it here. So they
don't care about
got it here. We can get it in Ohio.
Cam Newton?
Nah, he talking about
Cameron, my nigga.
But I'm just saying they can use Michigan or something. They don't, stop using us.
Michigan has taken enough hits. It's probably time that we stand in front of our little sisters and take some hits for them. We can't let them be the roses in the attic forever.
I don't know, man. I got to get out of here, though.
But yeah, we about to wrap it up anyway. Who should hit the showers?
Man, my hit the showers is Killer Cam. Cam Newton is my hit the showers. And it's not even because he got cut, because, I actually like Cam Newton a lot. My hit the showers is because I felt like, I don't know what was it, Sunday? When's the last time the Patriots played? When Cam was actually on the team, and he did that walk down of Mac Jones. And to me, that was like the beginning of the end. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Mac Jones. No, I didn't.
Yeah. He did a walk down of Mac Jones, like
that was the last
where he like literally walked like 50 feet. I'm probably exaggerating. He walked 50 feet just to get a high five from Mac Jones. Like, you come off the field. And you like, people like, good job. So you come off the field, you go to your little area. So Matt came off the field. He was going to his little area, and Cam wanted to give him a high five. Right. He didn't see him, though. So he keep walking. Cam Newton is following behind this dude for like 20 feet just to give him a high five. And to me, it's like, all right, your pride is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what's going on. I don't care what happened. You try to give him a high five. If he ain't within your range, you know what I'm saying? Like, you doing too much.
Team player.
You doing too much at this point. This was before he got cut. But I was just like, it's kind of suckerish. It's some sucker shit to me, because it's like, you should never be on anybody's team like that, especially when you are Cam Newton. So I just felt like
I don't agree. I don't agree, because I feel like I'm not gonna compare it to anything, but I feel like I'm not gonna compare it to anything, but I'm sure you can make the comparison after what I say. Mm-hmm. But it's like when you're in a situation and you are supposed to train, teach, whatever the case may be, and you grow fond of them, and the situation may do you wrong, but that person didn't.
Nope.
So I'm still gonna be like, you got it, G. That's what you were supposed to do.
Listen. He's supposed to, if Mac did something that was impressive, he's supposed to, as a teammate, give him his respect for that. But what you don't do is go out of your way to give somebody respect for that, because he didn't win a Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
You are right.
So it's all relative to what's going on. You're in a preseason game. There's nothing that amazing someone could do during a preseason game, knowing that you once took a team to a Super Bowl.
You are right.
Like, no, like if I try to dap you up and you ain't in reach, well, shoot, you just ain't in reach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not getting ready I'm not gonna play myself. If you
walk past
for
me,
you,
then that makes me think that you don't respect.
No, he walked past him, but he did not see him.
I know what you mean.
So it wasn't like he walked past him, but it's like, I'm not about to track you down at this point. You know what I'm saying? I think I compare it to the situation of.
But wait, why wouldn't you?
For what? Why are you going that much out of your way for someone?
I'm just thinking as the person learning, right? The first person I go to when I walk off the field after a good play is my coach. The next is my mentor, the person that's been teaching.
He's not his mentor. They're in a battle. That's not your mentor when you're battling for the same spot.
That's Mac and Cheese. He been mentoring him.
It's not his mentor because it would be his mentor if it was in a situation where, like with Aaron Rodgers, like we're not going to move Aaron Rodgers from the spot. We're bringing in Love.
You think Aaron Rodgers is mentoring somebody?
He may not necessarily be mentoring him, but his position is not up for grabs. You get what I'm saying? So if he were to do anything, he would be a mentor to Love. My thing is, Cam and Mac were in competition. You can't be in competition with someone and be a mentor as well. Like it just doesn't work that way. So my thing is,
it has for a while though. On the low, it has for a while.
I mean, technically, they're coming for your spot, and you know that.
Rodgers did it.
That's that political. But
listen to what I'm saying.
America, that's
he's
all that.
Currently, like he was battling. He was in the heat of the battle. It's not like, oh, I know you're going to replace me next year, and I'm good this year. No, he's in the heat of the battle. So with that being said, there is no mentoring. I got to win this battle right now. He needed to be focused on him.
But now
he can't think about mentoring.
That's not how it works though, because if the team sees that you're not doing what they expected you to do, listen, if we keep you here to mentor him and you're not mentoring him and you're not an Aaron Rodgers, you're gone. So but that's my point. You don't high five that man when he walks off the field.
No,
let
man.
Him know he does something.
No, he should high five him.
Don't do that though. You think
he should
think it like that? Like, he didn't I don't care if he walked past him. He should have still high fived him. Get him out of here. He's not good enough.
No, you think Tom Brady had to high five Garoppolo?
That's different.
No, he didn't.
That is
he didn't.
Different.
But no, that's my point. My point is, you're not in a position to where your spot is up for grabs.
Right.
So this whole he shouldn't be expected to mentor or be thinking about mentoring when your spot is not for certain.
That's not how
you gotta focus on solidifying your spot. Now, if somebody does something good, you should be a team player. You know what I'm saying? So you should high five them or say, hey, that was good. But should you go out of your way to do that?
Yeah,
especially when you're talking about a preseason game. Absolutely not. You look like a sucker. He looked like a sucker. He looked like a sucker.
But there's more to it than that, though. It's not.
No, man. When he did that, he basically said, in my opinion, you better than me, dog.
I don't view it as that.
I need him to have some ego. I need him to have some ego. Like whatever Mac did on the field, I wish Ken would have said back like, I know I can.
You know who
I can do that shit better.
You know who had ego, especially in a place like Boston. Let's be real. You know who had ego? Kaepernick had ego. He ain't getting nowhere.
I don't think that's a good comparison, though.
No, not at all. When you think of it, but what I'm saying is, you're in Boston of all places.
What are you referring to? What do you mean by that?
Boston? I think that Boston is an inherently racist place. What do you mean? That's what I'm referring to.
No, help me understand the connection. That's what I'm trying to understand. You're saying Kaepernick was in Boston in what setting?
No. Okay, I see what you're saying. No. I wasn't saying Kaepernick, that the equation was Boston. I'm just saying of all places you went to Boston. Being Cam Newton, right?
Okay. I thought you said Kaepernick.
Regardless.
Okay, my bad. You threw me off. I'm like
ego. I was saying once the ego got involved, like Kaepernick, that was when you got blackballed. You got sent to one of the worst places other than one of them South spots to go. You can't have an ego there. They were talking about that as soon as he got there. Remember, he released that video of him working in the gym, and they were talking about that's just his ego. He trying to take over the team. You remember that?
I remember that on Instagram. Yeah,
it was crazy. Like, so my whole point in saying that is, if you want to keep your spot on a team like Boston, I'm not even gonna say New England, like Boston, You better high five that quarterback when he walk off the field.
Listen, I told you I'm all for the high. When you walk into work, you would look crazy being like, oh well, I care more about what Kimberly eats for lunch than what I do. You get what I'm saying? Like,
no,
to me, that's what I'm saying. So no, we're not talking about to the boss though. We're talking about your peer. You get what I'm saying? We're talking about your peer. We're not talking about
places. They'll be like, did Kimberly get her bagel? Did you put the right cream cheese on it?
Then let's be real. If you got to put cream cheese, or you got to make sure that your peer, your coworker, gets their bagel, that this is not your superior in any way, then you already know who's winning in that situation. So would you lower yourself anymore?
But the only thing you can do at that point is a Deshaun Watson, right? And then
the one thing
Cam
that you
Newton
can have,
may be asking for hand jobs in a.
Listen, we're not going there. The only thing that you can do is you can have some dignity and you can have some pride and you can part ways from the situation. But that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying
I'm parting ways with some pride and some dignity.
Work a lot of times. To do any of y'all got anything to take us out?
I do not.
Peace, love, after Raiders. Browns is gonna go 1-16.
Use a lie. Use a lie, Craig.
At least 6-11.
Well, that was all from the head of concessions in Philly. Everyone else, all my shower heads, like, subscribe, share. It don't cost nothing. And we'll catch y'all next time. Be good or be good at it, motherfuckers.
We see y'all next week.
All that.
See y'all Saturday.
Yep, Saturday.
I'll see y'all next week.